All right, this is going to be a 75-minute class, so extra 15 minutes than these normal power hours that we've been doing. Try and give you a little bit more time on the floor with a little bit more time and some floor sequencing, and give you a full spectrum practice. So we'll go ahead and get started in that cross-legged seated position, or in child's pose. This is Tank. This is one of our dogs, and my wife Katie. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So getting settled on the mat. All right, so if you've chosen child's pose like Katie has, or you've chosen that cross-legged seated position like I'm in, doesn't matter. All right, but before we start to shift and change and breathe and manage and sweat, all right, can you just name and note? All right, and what I mean by that is, can you name whatever you're bringing to the practice? And can you note any physical sensations or emotional tones in the body? All right, and notice how you almost want a third step. All right, you want to do something with whatever it is that you identified or noted. All right, but can you take this moment just to be with whatever it is, right? Just to kind of be with, as opposed to do something about. All right, taking a moment here and pause. Just noticing what it's like to create a holding space for whatever it is you're specifically bringing to the practice here today. And from that brief moment of naming and noting and being with, all right, what we'll do is we'll all take a big breath in together, and then a big sigh out of the mouth. Awesome. And then keep the eyes closed, or close them if they already aren't. And then from there, bring a little bit of length into your spine. So if you're in child's pose, maybe you rock the forehead side to side and feel the crown of the head move towards the front of the mat, and you fan the hands out and press the hips further back over the heels. Right, but if you're cross-legged seated like me, allow the chin to move under the crown of the head, roll the shoulder blades back down away from the ears, tuck the pelvis under the shoulders, right, and then bring that sort of dignified posture to the practice. Right, noticing what that shift of alignment and length in your spine may have done to whatever it is you named and noted earlier. Right, and then from this length in the spine, now we'll shift our attention to the breath. Right, taking a moment to do nothing about the breath, just to observe the quality of the breath. Right, bringing some awareness that just being with the breath, paying attention to it, might unavoidably change the quality of it. Right, and then from that foundation of how you're showing up in your breath, we'll start to deepen the rhythm of the breath. Inhaling more completely, filling up the entire body, breathing into the backs of the shoulders, the lungs, the belly, the low back, the whole entire torso. Right, and then on the exhale, feeling everything leave the body, maybe slowly blowing a few exhales out through the mouth like you're blowing out through a straw. Right, or keeping the lips gently closed, your choice. Noticing where the mind may be heading off to right now, and just keep bringing it back to the breath. All right, and then from this moment of stillness, we'll all take another big breath in together, and a big loud breath out. Very nice. So, tabletop pose is where we'll meet, slowly blinking the eyes open. Right, and finding your tabletop pose. Tabletop pose, right, you're kind of being the best tabletop you can be, right? So that's hands under shoulders, knees under hips, hug the forearms in slightly together, fan the fingers out. Awesome, and then from there, right, make sure the knees are placed directly under the hips and the tops of the feet are pressing down into the earth. Awesome, okay, so from there, tuck the toes under, float the knees right above the mat, right? And we've been doing these a lot so far in these classes that we've been leading online. Bring your right knee to your right elbow, and then re-extend, left knee, left elbow, and then come into these floating tabletop mountain climbers here. Palms pressed down under the shoulders. See if you can't maintain that soft bend in the knees. All right, feel the obliques start to turn on. Maintain that length through the neck though, right? Don't look too far forward or don't look too far in and up. Set your gaze in between your thumbs for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back into a tabletop pose. On your inhale, cow as you drop the belly and look up. And then on your exhale, cat as you press, arch and round. Very nice. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, find cow. Exhale, press, arch and round it into cat. Slowly back into tabletop pose. From there, floating tabletop once more. And now bring your right knee to your left elbow. Re-extend, and then left knee, right elbow. And then the same concept. All right, just using more of the transverse abdominal here. All right, adding a little bit more difficulty to the movement. Here we are for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Back into that tabletop pose. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, find cow. Exhale, press, arch and round it into cat. And take about 2 more rounds here, cat and cow. Moving on your breath, focusing on that deep, huge inhale and that full, complete exhale. Back into your tabletop pose. From tabletop, downward facing dog. Awesome. And then bend the knees. Yeah, walk out the first down dog here. Bump the chest towards the toes. Make sure the whole hand's rooted into the earth. Awesome. All right, so from here, let's bring the big toes to touch. Inhale high onto the balls of the feet. And then drop the heels towards the right so we can lengthen this left side of the body. All right, so really push that left armpit down towards the mat. Look in and up, right? And then breathe into that left lung that we're expanding with every inhale. And then on the exhale, see if you can't think about dragging that left palm towards the back of the mat, opening up that side body. Slowly bring those heels back towards center. And then let's drop them towards the opposite side. Push down through that right armpit. Keep a bit, or pull some length into that right side body. And then lengthen the back of the neck. Very nice. Bring those heels back towards center. Perfect. From here, let's roll ourselves into a high plank pose. Very nice. Lower down into chaturanga. Hold chaturanga. Back into a high plank pose. Side plank. Left hand down. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. From there, reach that top arm up and over. Take that extended side plank pose. Right? Feel a little bit more height in that right hip. And then reach that right arm back towards the sky. Exhale, reach that right arm under the body. Awesome. And then inhale right back to the sky. Back into your high plank pose. From high plank, exhale, lower down chaturanga. Back into a high plank. And then right hand down under. All right, coming into side plank here on the opposite side. Extending that top arm up and over, breathing in. Awesome, and then back up into that standard, and then rotate under on your exhale. Inhale back to the sky, back into your high plank pose. If you need to modify, come to your knees. If not, hold this high plank for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale into that first upward facing dog. Make sure the hands are driving down. You're rolling the shoulder blades down away from the ears. Tops of the feet press into the earth. Take a big inhale. And then big exhale, downward facing dog. Very nice. Awesome. From there, let's toe heel the feet together. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then make some big circles with that first hip opener here, right? So just kind of roll around in that right knee. Rolling a few times one way, and then rolling it the opposite way. Very nice. Awesome. From there, re-extend through that right leg, and then move your right knee to your left elbow again, and find fallen triangle, extending through that right foot, lifting up through that left hand. Right, so it's still early in practice, right? So come into the best fallen triangle you got right now. Right, big opening into the right inner thigh, setting your gaze high towards that lifted thumb, and then lower the left hand down, right leg rises back to the sky. All right, big toe lowers down to meet big toe. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip.
Very nice. Create some big circles if you want, right? If holding that still first twisted dog feels good, right? Hold it in stillness. If not, right, kind of stir around, move a little bit into the hip here, starting to wake up. Awesome. And then from there, we extend through the left leg. Bring your left knee to your right elbow, find falling triangle. Reach. Right, making sure that that left hand's under the shoulder, right? Stacking that right shoulder right on top of the left, looking up towards that lifted thumb for 3, 2, 1. Right hand down, left leg shoots back to the sky. Big toe lowers down to meet big toe. From there, inhale high onto the balls of the feet. Listen carefully. Slow as you can. Tiptoe it up, right? Think less about moving your feet forward. Think more about using your belly to tuck your thighs forward towards your chin, right? Eventually allowing the feet to travel under the shoulders. And then from there, ragdoll pose. Make sure feet are hips width distance apart, right? Grabbing opposite elbows, swaying side to side if you'd like, bouncing up and down if you prefer. Or again, you can hold on to stillness here, right? Just breathing deep into a still pose. Right, seeing here if in this first ragdoll pose, you can literally breathe into the back of your lungs, breathing into your shoulders, and feeling that stretch that you can create just with breath alone in the torso. As always in ragdoll pose, challenging you to let go of anything that could get in the way of the practice that you need. All right, so maybe that's letting go of worry, maybe that's letting go of some sort of circumstance or situation you were in, letting go of some argument you were in or some argument you were planning after practice. All right, and really allowing yourself just to kind of empty the body, letting go of any sort of rigidity. All right, and then from that place of letting go, in order to make room for the practice you deserve, take a big breath in and a full breath out. Hands lower down to the mat. Awesome. From there, slowly bring the big toes to touch, and then let's roll it up to that first strong Tadasana. Shoulder blades roll back, and then reverse swan dive up with the arms. Right, relaxing the shoulders from the ears, tuck the pelvis forward, lift up all 10 toes, re-stretch them onto the earth. Very nice. As you inhale, look up in between the palms. And then as you exhale, lower hands down to heart center. All right, so bring yourself back to that awareness that we stoked by naming and noting whatever it was you brought to the practice here. Right, and then from that foundation, whatever it is that you're bringing to the practice, like what do you want to do with that? Right, and can we create an intention based on that awareness? And then over the next 70 odd minutes we have together, right, can we act on that awareness through breath and movement and sweat and struggle, creating more of whatever the intention you set here is. All right, so from that place of possibility, big massive breath in, big full breath out. Reach the arms back up, Tadasana, and then exhale, forward fold. Very nice. Inhale to a halfway lift, and then exhale, forward fold. Very nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Holding this third halfway lift. Hold your halfway lift. Soft bend in the knees, right? Maybe a little bit more than you're used to. Feel that. Allow you to pull the belly button up towards the spine, right? And then breathe here. All right, slightly tucking the chin back towards the throat. Take one more big breath in. Utkatasana, fingertips scrape the mat. All right, reaching the arms up. All right, and then from there, like we did in practice yesterday, I believe, right? We're gonna bring that self-adjustment to the practice. So right fist on your belly button, left fist on your tailbone, and then push that right fist towards the spine, and then push that left fist down towards the heels, right? And then keep that pelvis as you reach up, right? That's what I'm talking about with neutral pelvis. That's that core strength we're trying to stoke in every pose, right? From here, take a big breath in, and then lower your hands down to your side, float your belly right above your thighs. Keep that belly button pulling up towards the spine, holding here for 3, 2, forward fold. Very nice. Inhale to a halfway lift. Hands lower down, step back into high plank pose. Awesome. All right, so from high plank pose, take forearm plank. All right, so with the elbows down where the hands just were, press the palms firmly into the earth, and then move your left forearm to about a 2 o'clock angle. All right, so your left palm's now in the center of your mat, and then we'll take a forearm side plank, dropping the heels towards the left as the right arm reaches up. Very nice. All right, so really push down through that left forearm, observing what it's like to use your whole forearm, not just your elbow. Very nice. And then from there, back into forearm plank. Arms look back like an 11. And then we'll move that right palm to the center of the mat. Drop the heels towards the right. Reach your left arm towards the sky. Right? Push the forearm down. Push the palm down as well. Looking up towards that lifted thumb for 3, 2, 1. Back into forearm plank. Very nice. From forearm plank, high plank. From high plank, exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Awesome. From there, inhale high onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, step or float. Find a halfway lift, top of your mat. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, land in mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Starting to find a flow here. Halfway lift. And then exhale, hands lower down. You can step or float through your vinyasa. If you're hopping back like Katie is, hop back to bent elbows, right? If you're skipping your vinyasas today, that's also your choice, right? Just step back to down dog whenever we call them out. And, right, as always, get creative with your vinyasas. If you want to add on different poses and intensify the flow, give yourself what you need. Now, all right, from down dog, inhale high. Knees bent, step, float, halfway lift, top of the mat. Once you arrive, no hurry. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive, root down, rise up. And then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And then maybe you close your eyes through this vinyasa, right? We're always going to meet in downward facing dog. Right? Mindful that you're not rushing the sequence of poses, right? Spending time in each pose there. Inhale high, knees bend, step, float, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise up, mountain pose. Keep it moving, forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands lower down, find that flow. Hopping, stepping, floating. Piking, lifting, breathing. Very nice, awesome. Inhale high, knees bend, step or float, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up, mountain pose. A few more sun A's. Half lift. Hands lower. Move it through your flow. Or step back to downward facing dog. Awesome. Inhale high, knees bend, step or float, halfway lift, top of your mat. Exhale, refold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. One more complete sun A. Forward fold, halfway lift. Hands lower down. Keep the elbows close to the body when you're moving through your vinyasa. Right? Protect your shoulders through that center line. Inhale high, knees bend, step or float, half lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up, mountain pose. Back into Utkatasana. Breathe. All right, starting to feel that heart rate escalate through those sun A's. All right, come back to home base by paying attention to the breath. All right, and then building the pose from the ground up. You'll look down, make sure your pinky toe is visible. All right, hug the inner thighs in from there. Mindful that you're not gripping the mat with your toes. And then relax the shoulders from the ears. Right, always helpful, I believe, to bring that 2-fist pelvic alignment to your chair pose if you'd like. Awesome, and then from there, take another big breath in, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, and then the hands lower down, the body moves through. We're meeting in downward facing dog. Awesome, coming into a little bit of a ladder flow here. Inhale, right leg high to the sky, and then exhale, knee to nose. Heel to the sky. Knee to the nose or forehead. Heel to the sky. Knee to the nose. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Step forward, spin down. Warrior 1, rise up. All right, so that warrior sequence in this ladder flow, we're going to add on warrior 1 to warrior 2. Right, from warrior 2, we're going to add on to peaceful warrior. Right, and then we're going to keep stacking pose onto pose. Right, building almost like a dance, a little bit of a choreography here. But for now, we're in warrior 1. So left hip forward, sinking in to that right hip as well. Keeping that left
pinky toe edge rooted into the earth. From there, look up, press the palms together overhead, and then lower the hands down to the mat. Float that right foot back if you'd like. Take a vinyasa if you'd like, but we're all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high to the sky, and then step it into warrior one. Breathe. Awesome, right? Relax the shoulders, draw the pelvis under the hips, chin under the crown of the head, soften the face, let go of any tension in the brow line. All right, soften the muscles behind the eyes, look up, watch the palms press together, and then lower the hands down into the mat. Flow through to downward facing dog. Awesome, from downward facing dog, inhale high onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, step or float, chair pose, top of the mat. Awesome. Very nice. From chair pose, lower the hands down to your sides. Float the belly right above the thigh. Right, not here for long, just another big breath in. And then exhale, forward fold, sorry. From there, like a zombie, slowly roll yourself up. And then reach up, Tadasana pose. Very nice. From there, back to Utkatasana. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Move through that vinyasa, see in downward facing dog. All right, inhale, right leg high to the sky. Step it into warrior one. All right, in warrior one for just a round of breath now, and then spending some time to experience warrior two. All right, so adding on to this ladder, next rung is warrior two. All right, so draw the pelvis under the hips, draw the shoulder blades in towards one another, but think about the fingers moving away from the spine at the same time. Very nice, deep parallel bend in that right thigh. Take one more big breath in, and then windmill the hands down to the earth. Step or float that right foot back. Vinyasa. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg, high to the sky. Step it into warrior one. Awesome. Right, then right into warrior two. Beautiful. All right, almost like you're trying to press your right thigh bone into your right hamstring. Really engage that strong right leg. All right, a few more breaths here in this warrior two. Just kind of noticing what it's like to receive the pose, right? To do very little, but to be very much in the pose. Big breath in, and then windmill the hands down to the earth. Float. Awesome. Inhale high onto the balls of the feet. Knees bend, step or float, chair pose, top of the mat. All right. From chair pose, hands lower down to your side. Float the belly right above the thighs. All right, hug the inner thighs in. Lift the belly button towards the spine. Exhale, fold. Like a zombie, roll yourself up. Reverse swan dive up with the arms. Press the palms together overhead if you'd like. And then right into Utkatasana. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Vinyasa if you'd like. Down dog is where we'll meet. Inhale, right leg high to the sky, and then step it into warrior one. All right, from warrior one into warrior two. All right, one breath in warrior two, and then finding peaceful warrior, first by reaching forward, then flipping the palm, reaching up and out of that right hip. All right, draw that tailbone under the spine. All right, take one more big breath in here, and then windmill the hands down to the earth. Starting to get the picture, right? Starting to build some of that choreography through this sequence. Meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Step it into warrior one. Open yourself into warrior two. Very nice, reaching forward, palm flips, peaceful warrior. All right, holding it for about 3 rounds of breath here. All right, so like receive this peaceful warrior, right? Lengthen and soften. Right, strengthen through the soles of the feet. All right, take one more big breath in here, and then windmill the hands down to the earth. Meet you in down dog. Awesome. From downward facing dog, inhale high onto the balls of the feet. Bend your knees, step or float, chair pose, top of the mat. Very nice. From chair pose, lower your hands down to your side. Float the belly right above the thighs. Take a big breath in. Forward fold. Like a puppet, just roll yourself up with heavy arms, and then draw the shoulder blades back. Inhale, reach up, find Tadasana.
Right back into Utkatasana. Big inhale, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, hands lower down, vinyasa. Inhale, right leg high to the sky, stepping into warrior one. Awesome, big opening into warrior two. Reaching forward, flip the palm, peaceful warrior. Very nice. From here, back into warrior two, just for a moment. Reaching forward, finding side angle pose. Right, and in side angle pose, as always, you can allow that right forearm to rest onto the thigh, but keep that left shoulder on top of the right shoulder. Right, that's gonna tell you if you need to come up onto your forearm. Right, if that left shoulder is kind of leaning more towards the mat, maybe you need to come up onto your forearm. Peel that left hip up towards the sky, right, and then be in this side angle pose for another 3 rounds of breath. Looking up towards that lifted thumb, trying to get your chin to point up towards that thumbnail. Breathe for 3, 2, back up into warrior two. Very nice. From warrior two, we'll windmill the hands down to the earth. Awesome. Float that right foot back. Right, rung by rung, building on to this ladder sequence. Doing a great job. Inhale, left leg high. Step into warrior one. Open into warrior two. All right, still be in the pose for a moment. Try not to rush through the sequence. Peaceful warrior. Very nice. Back into warrior two. And then we'll reach into our side angle pose here. All right, try not to roll to the inner arch of that right foot. Right, like you're pressing that femur bone into the hamstring of the right leg. Right, use that quadricep to keep the 4 corners of the right foot firmly into the mat. Breathe. Right, seeing if you can't find the back bend here. Right, tucking that left hip under the body, pushing the heart towards the right side of the mat. Looking up towards that lifted thumb. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up into warrior two. All right, from there, big breath in, and then windmill the hands down to the earth. Find that sequence that gets you to down dog, whether it's that classic vinyasa or adding on chin stand or skipping it all together. From down dog, inhale high onto the balls of the feet, knees bend, step or float, chair pose, top of the mat. Very nice. Hands lower down to your side, float the belly over the thighs. Huge breath in. Exhale, fold. All right, roll yourself up slowly. Reach up, find Tadasana. Right back into Utkatasana. Right, so now one breath, one movement, right? That ladder sequence, right, is complete. We'll move through it once on either side. All right, big breath in, forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands lower down, move through, meet you in down dog. Right, and really see if you can't kind of connect to the dance of this, right? The choreography of it. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Step it into warrior one. Beautiful. From warrior one, warrior two. Reaching forward, flip the palm, peaceful warrior. Back into warrior two. Reaching forward, side angle pose. Back into warrior two. Windmill the hands down to the earth. Very nice. Inhaling into up dog. Exhaling into down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Step it into warrior one. Opening into warrior two. Reach forward, palm flip, big opening in the left side in peaceful warrior. Back to warrior two. Reach forward, side angle. Very nice, back to warrior two. Windmill the hands down to the earth. Beautiful. Meeting and down dog. Awesome. So listen carefully. From downward facing dog, inhale high onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, step or float, halfway lift, top of your mat. And then exhale, forward fold. Toe heel your feet hips width distance apart. All right, very nice. And then with your feet hips width distance apart, with your peace fingers, grab your big toes. Awesome. Bring some weight into the balls of the feet. Try not to collapse all your weight into the heels, right? I like to think about pushing the knuckle of my big toe into the earth by lifting up all 10 toes, then pressing the big toe into the peace fingers. From there, fingers to toes, forward fold. Bend the knees, look forward, strong, flat back. Say hi to tank again. And then exhale, forward fold. Very nice, right? Like feeling that stretch in the ribs just with the power of your breath. Every inhale, really pressing the belly against the thighs. Every exhale, you're pulling a little bit deeper with the arms, allowing the crown of the head to get closer to the mat. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the big toes with the peace fingers. Hands into the mat. Very nice. Toe heel your feet, hips width distance apart. Right? Or, sorry, toe heel your feet to the edges of your mat. Right? They were hips width distance apart. So, right big toe is about a 2 o'clock angle. Left big toe is about a 10 or an 11 o'clock angle. Hands into the mat. Right? And then what we'll do here is we'll slowly lower down. Right? To a yogic squat prep. Right? So, lowering down, keeping the hands rooted into the earth. And then from there, slowly raise it right back up. Very nice. Slowly lower yourself down as you inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly press yourself back up. Very nice. One more round. Slowly lower down. Inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly re-extend into the hips. Awesome. Allow the toes to come behind the wrists. Coming into Bakasana, coming up high onto the balls of your feet. Moving your knees to the backs of your arms, bending your arms to create a shelf, and then coming into your crow pose. All right, keeping your hands rooted into the earth. All right, seeing if you can't maintain the big toes touching. All right, trying to bring the heels up towards that pelvic floor. Very nice. Not here for too long, right? Just a quick little Bakasana here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Option to step back into your chaturanga, right? Or step back through a vinyasa. We're meeting in down dog, however you'd like to get there. Inhale into up dog if you're there. Exhale back into down dog where we'll meet. From downward facing dog, inhale high onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, step or float. Find a halfway lift, top of your mat. And then exhale, forward fold. Slowly rise up, land in your mountain pose. Very nice. And then from there, tuck the pelvis forward. Press the palms together overhead. Very nice. And then from there, look up in between your palms. Press them firmly in towards one another. And then on your inhale, find a back bend. Set your gaze still in between your palms. And then exhale, forward fold. If you need to modify your back bend, Katie's going to be modifying back bends today, right? Just kind of follow along with her. Step that right leg back, long runner's lunge. All right, Katie had a baby a few months ago, right? So back bends aren't what they used to be, right? But do what you can. In this runner's lunge, left ankle under the knee, right? Pull the belly off the thigh, right? Just like we were in those chair poses when we reach the arms back, right? We want to pull the belly off the thigh using the power of the core. Take a big breath in, and then hands down, step back into downward facing dog. From there, roll it into high plank. Lower down, knees, chest, and chin. On your inhale, find a cobra. Awesome. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Step it into a long runner's lunge. Awesome. From there, shift weight slowly into the right foot by lifting up all 5 right toes. Right? And then light on your hands as you press into your quadricep to find standing needle pose. Awesome. Very nice. So from standing needle pose, bend your right knee. Allow your belly to rest onto your thigh, transferring into toppling tree, interlacing your hands behind your low back, keeping your belly on your thigh for stability, and then from there, right, allowing the fingers to come up and over, right? But don't be afraid to bend that right knee, right? You're not in standing needle, right? You're in toppling tree. And if you fall out of your toppling tree, right, it's called toppling tree for a reason, right? So try and have some fun with your practice, right? Maybe taking that one-pointed focus to your right big toe, or maybe looking at your shin. Very nice. Just a few more breaths here in toppling tree. All right, undo the bind of your arms, hands under your shoulders, back into standing needle as you extend through that right leg, and then right hand down, Ardha Chandrasana, top of the mat. All right, so half moon here. Looking up towards that lifted thumb, breathing deep. All right, maybe you want to float that bottom hand to your heart. Maybe you want to stay more grounded and look down towards the mat. Right, if you need to take a break, right, take a break, but then come back into it when you're ready. Whether that's 5 seconds later or 5 minutes later, right? Honor what you need in your practice. All right, breathe for 3, 2, 1. Back to standing needle. Big breath in, big toe meets big toe. Right? From here, reach your arms out in front of you. Right? Press the palms together overhead. Tuck the pelvis forward here. Soft bend in your knees. Arms stay right where they are. Rise up into your back bend. And then lower hands down to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, reach it up, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left leg back into a long runner's lunge. Huge inhale, light in the upper body. And then exhale, downward facing dog. From there, roll it into high plank. Lower knees, chest, and chin. On your inhale, find cobra pose. On your exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Step it into a long runner's lunge. Very nice. Take a big breath in. Standing needle, top of the mat. All right, spinning a moment in standing needle just to kind of square off the hips. And then from there, bend the left knee. Allow the whole upper body to surrender onto that left thigh. Then re-extend through the right leg as you interlace the hands behind the low back. Beautiful. And then there, think about a tricep extension, lifting your palms off your lower back. All right, setting your gaze towards the back edge of your mat or maybe your left big toe. All right, and then if you need to catch your balance like I just did, catch it, and then come right back into it. All right, finding your boundaries, working on balance. Breathe. Forehead getting a little closer to the shin here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Undo the bind of your arms, hands under your shoulders. Find that halfway lift as you re-extend through the left leg, and then into half moon or Ardha Chandrasana as you reach that right arm high towards the ceiling. All right, maybe you need to kind of hop back on your mat. Very nice. Light in the left hand. Breathing here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing needle just for a breath. And then big toe meets big toe. Awesome. From there, slowly rise your... Arms reach out in front of you. Right? Tuck the pelvis forward. Right? And then rise up with that strong, long spine. Lower hands down the heart center. Elbows out wide. Very nice. Drop your hands to your side. And spend a moment here in true north. Right? So maybe you kind of want to shake out the legs, wiggle out the arms. Right, but then bring the big toes to touch. Lift up all 10 of your toes. Gently allow them to rest onto the mat from there. Internally rotating your thighs, feeling the heels move away from one another. All right, letting go of the rigidity in your arms. And then opening up your palms towards the front of the mat, keeping your lips gently closed. Giving yourself a moment here just to scan the body. Once more, allowing yourself to name and note whatever it is that's showing up. Right, and it's not name, note, and do something about it. Right, it's name, note, and just be with it. All right, so from that moment of pause and presence, gaining a perspective through both. All right, what do you want to do with that perspective? What do you need for the rest of your practice? All right, so from that place, take a big breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, reach the arms up, press the palms together overhead. Lower your hands down to heart center, bend your knees. Let's take that prayer twist now towards the right. Left elbow to the outside of that knee, hips low. Awesome. Drawing that left hip under the body. It wants to sneak away from center line, right? Draw it in towards center line. Look over that right shoulder. Very nice. Breathing deep into the belly. All right, that deep calming breath. Sending signals to the nervous system that even in this uncomfortable pose, you're safe, you're in control, right? And you have the power to choose. All right, so from that power, breathe. All right, take a big inhale. Back to Utkatasana. Legs stay right where they are. Arms reach up. And then lower hands back down to heart center. We'll take that twist to the left. Breathe. All right, no need to rush into the poses too. right? Slowly build the pose, find your foundation and alignment, and then start to intensify or advance from there or modify. All right, just here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Very nice. From that forward fold, toe heel your feet back, hips width distance apart. All right, from there, stand onto your hands, gorilla pose, Padahastasana. Very nice. So, shifting weight once more into the balls of your feet, right? Natural tendency is to collapse weight into the heels. We want to play with a little bit of balance here before we pull ourselves into gorilla, right? So firmly press the feet into the hands, and then firmly press the palms back into the feet, like you're trying to drag the knuckles out from under your feet. Very nice. With that connection, bend the knees, look forward, strong, flat back, and then keep your belly against your thighs as you begin to gaze in and up towards your pelvic floor. All right, pulling deep with those powerful back muscles. All right, if there's a dog at the back of your mat, maybe gazing at your dog. If you're not that lucky, all right, gaze in and up towards that pelvic floor. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the soles of the feet. Okay, from here, hands into the mat, right? And then we'll bend the right knee and then bend the left knee. Keep the hands rooted into the earth and just kind of like walk out this forward fold, almost like you would be in that first downward facing dog, right? Bending knee to knee, right? Starting to feel a little bit of a deeper stretch into the hip every time you bend. Very nice. And then the next time you bend your right knee, hold that pose, right? Hold that bend. Move your right hand under your face. Reach up with your left elbow, and then add the top arm to finish the twist, right? Using this as a foundation for bird of paradise or full binds or half binds, right? So Katie will stay right where she is. She's going to root her right hand into the earth. She's going to lift away from those roots, right? Keeping the 4 corners of both feet into the earth, right? I'll demonstrate the bind, right? So you can drop that left hand down, reach that right arm under the right leg and bind the fingers, and then continue to twist. Spend a moment here in the arm bind to really think about pressing your right tricep into your hamstring, right? And then from here, maybe bird of paradise, allowing that big toe, or allowing the left foot to travel to the center of your mat, high onto the right big toe, and then slowly, right, begin to bring that strong, long spine into a stacked bird of paradise pose. In bird of paradise, if you want to intensify, straighten out that right leg. All right, very nice. Relaxing the muscles in the face, no matter which pose you're in. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release if you're in your birds, meeting back into that twist, undoing the bind, looking up towards that lifted thumb, and then spend a moment in ragdoll pose. Breathe, right? Letting go of that sigh. All right, coming back to ragdoll, like just being in ragdoll one breath at a time. Noticing the brain's habit of trying to get ahead of itself, already planning bird of paradise or what you did on that right side. Just hang out in ragdoll. Awesome. And then from there, hands under the shoulders. And then we'll start to walk out this forward fold again. Just kind of bending the knees side to side. Kind of like to think about like Q-tipping the hips or flossing the hips. Looking for any sort of tight spots or trigger points you might catch with a little bit of dynamic movement. Very nice. Next time you bend your left knee, bend it, hold it. Left hand under your face. Lead with the elbow. Reach that top arm high to the sky. All right, looking up towards that lifted thumb. And if you really want to test your gaze, close your right eye and see if you can't find that thumb with your left eye only. Right, that's really going to twist the spine, twist the neck. All right, breathing here, or binding and coming into your birds. All right, so if you're coming into your bird, toe heel that right foot to the center line of your mat, bend your right knee, and then slowly over time, right, finding your bird of paradise. All right, and if you rise up and the body's like, nope, that was a bad idea, listen to your body, not what you did yesterday. All right, if you're coming into your birds, you can extend, point that left foot All right, here we are just for another 4, 3, 2, 1. From your bird, slowly descend down, right? Reaching up where you came from, and then spending some time in ragdoll pose. Allowing yourself again to let go of what you just did or didn't do. Hanging out in ragdoll pose, swaying side to side. Nowhere else to be. Right, hanging. Very nice. Awesome. So, from there, lower the hands down into the earth. Right, from there, toe heel the big toes together. And then slowly stack disc over disc over disc. Drawing the shoulder blades back. Inhale, reach up, find Tadasana pose. And then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Another option for that vinyasa, or step back into down dog. All right, so Katie will step back into down dog. All right, if you want to take that vinyasa, go for it. Inhale, right leg to the sky once you arrive. Bend that right knee, open the hip up in that twisted dog, and then stay in your twisted dog, right? Squaring off the chest, forehead towards the kneecap, heart towards the big toe. Or you can roll up and over onto the ball of the left foot, flipping your dog or finding full wheel. All right, so, right, raising up in your flip dogs and reaching towards the mat. But again, right, if you're working with some lower back issues like Katie's working with, right, take it easy in your practice. Yoga's always going to be there, right? Nurture those injuries, and your practice will thank you over time. Very nice, awesome. From your flip dog, slowly back into your three-legged expression, re-extending through the right leg no matter which pose you've chosen, and then step it into lizard lunge. Big, wide step forward with that right foot. Hands under the shoulders, breathe. All right, fight that urge or resist that urge to collapse too much into the hips, right? Think about your left inner thigh being pulled towards the ceiling. From there, with that alignment, maybe you lower the left knee down, but still bring that lift in your hips and that connection to your pelvic floor. If you want to lower down into your forearms, right, we spend some time in forearm plank to begin practice. Bring that same feeling of both forearms rooted into the earth. All right, and if you want to come into arm balances or different situations like that, go for it. Breathe. All right, and like I just caught myself doing, right? I'm looking around the room, I'm looking at my toes, right? My body wants to distract me from the discomfort. All right, so can I practice paying attention to the discomfort here? All right, by closing my eyes. All right, not focusing on some sort of story about the discomfort, about how much it sucks, or, right, like how I can't do this. But truly just letting go of that story and allowing for the physical sensation of breath to be what I anchor my attention in. Noticing how that changes the pose and how that changes perspective. All right, if you're in deeper expressions of lizard lunge, slowly back onto your palms. Very nice. From there, lower the left knee down. We'll take the twist, right? So allow that right foot, right, to come towards that right side of your mat. Left hand under the shoulder. Really important that the left hand stays under the shoulder. The left ear wants to collapse towards the shoulder as well, right? Can you push down and away as you drive that right thigh away from you? Flexing the toes towards the shin to maintain, right, those wrinkle-free inner ankles. All right, going as deep as you can into that right thigh opener, hip opener. All right, if you want to add the quad stretch, you can bend that left knee, reaching back like Katie's doing. All demonstrate just staying in the foundation, right? But notice how Katie's reaching back. Her thumb is pointing towards her toes, and then she's going to pull her heel slightly towards her glutes, but also kick that shin back at the same time. I'm going to stay here twisting over, trying to find my left heel with my gaze. All right, no matter which pose you're in, we're in it for just another 4, 3, 2, One, slowly release, right? Back into that standard lizard lunge, re-extending through that left leg. And then into